Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the newest episode of the Samurai Brothers. Matthew, I believe this is episode 76, right? And we obviously had a lot going on over the last few weeks, and uh, so we were in Las Vegas for the U.S. Sumo Nationals, which we will cover in the next podcast episode that we do, because today we have to catch up on a lot of One Piece. We have 4 chapters worth to catch up on. So, Matthew, let's get right into it, shall we? And there's going to be some big stuff happening, as we know. So, all right. So, 1176, chapter 1176. There was looks like there was a color spread by Oda. Obviously, we've got, so this is 1176 with Pride is the name of the chapter. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on here. Loki, we've seen Loki, and then obviously Luffy is in Nika mode. So we have a few things where Lilith is talking with Frankie, and it looks like she is going to upgrade him to be doing some things, obviously. And the fire is spreading to the library and the school. So we got some major tight. We're in a tight situation here with the fires that are spreading. Saul's been knocked down. And then kind of Usopp's in shock about that the dragon has showed up, which is Loki, obviously. But Nami has a plan. She's trying to get Zeus to rain water on the library and the school, obviously. With that being said, it starts working because she uses tempo to do that, and Zeus is raining. But then one of the nightmare monsters eats Zeus. So, Matthew, that's a little bit of a not a great situation, I would say, right?
Kind of reminiscent of when Big Mom tried to have Hera eat Zeusings. So, but
Yeah.
it's not a situation where he was like consumed. He's alive in that nightmare monster.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, the one who unleashed the nightmare monster was killing him, uh, because he's trying to tell them that everyone promised to cast aside the history of the world. Um, but then someone says activate ODC, and what ends up happening is that it freezes the fires. And as it turns out, that was one of Lilith's inventions. So now, with that being said, she's also giving him some more cola, and looks like she's giving him what's called Super Vega Cola, and she says that fuel is passion. Use this stuff, and your raw power will explode. And then we've got Zeus inside the Lindworm, and then obviously killing him is very ecstatic about that. He's going to have the Lindworm try to destroy the library and the school, while Saul and Robin are rushing towards. Let me see here. Oh, and then Jinbei is coming up, and obviously, but then killing him is obviously he's not a fan of fishmen.
I think, if I recall, what's his name? Liam of Grand Line Review was saying that it's strange because Killingham looks like a fishman, but I don't know if he necessarily is one.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just got spiky teeth, to be
He
honest.
he might be some other species, but he's not a fishman.
Yeah. Sanji looks like he's gonna try and knock a hole into killing as a mask. Then we've got Frankie. He has been powered up, and so he's getting ready to unleash some kind of power move, along with. So he starts with super strong. Jinbei's starting with Fishman Karate Secret Art. Sanji going with Ifrit Jambe, and they all take out the. Not only do they take out the Lindworm, but they also take out Killing him. So now Sanji, as far as the Straw Hats go, Sanji now is the second person to have directly hit a Celestial Dragon, if memory serves me correctly.
Didn't one oh right, that was Luffy that took out what's his name?
Yeah, the one of the Rosswards. I
No,
forgot his
I
name.
was gonna say who's the sadistic Holy Knight?
Oh, yeah, the first one. Gosh, I keep forgetting his name. Um, he's from the other clan. Oh, gosh, man, why does memory evade us right now? Uh, anyway, yeah, you're right. That would be. Oh yeah, Summers.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, all right. Well, so Killingham's been taken out as well as the Lindworm. So then we will go into it looks like now Dory and Brogy. Um Dory and Brogy are still demons. And they're trying to figure out how to Zoro and Hyaldine and Stanson are all trying to figure out how to take out the demon giants. But it looks like Dory and Brogy have at least retrieved their consciousness, and obviously they are in shame of this. So what what they do is that they decapitate each other.
Yeah, they basically do a mercy pact on each
Kill,
other.
yeah.
Mercy killing pact on each other.
Uh, However, the revelation of this chapter is that Dory and Brogy come back to life because they killed the demon entities inside each other.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Liam. I don't like how it was that simple.
Yeah,
Because
because well,
well,
and that kind of makes me.
especially when you go to what's it called? Especially when you go to the what's it called flashback
The God Valley incident.
God Valley incident, and Rocks is having to kill his own family. They look dead. They don't look revived. They straight up look dead when he took them out.
Yeah,
And
so
it
that seems
took
like a plot hole, right?
yeah, and it took two all or nothing, like 100% Conquers hockey attacks, imbued attacks from Garp and Roger to nullify what's his name? Rock's
Rocks.
um dummy reversey possession. So I don't like how simple this was.
Yeah, it does
Unless
kind of
unless the
seem.
unless the idea might be that because Rocks had Conquers hockey, it would have taken an equal amount. That's the only thing I could possibly think of that would maybe make this make sense, is that it would take an equal amount or stronger.
Well,
Um
and maybe another thing is that the you know Dory and Brogy in demon form took each other out. Could that
well,
maybe have been
possibly, but
something?
then you see, them taking other people out.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of an explanation when we get to the another one of those situations, but let's just continue because we got a
Yeah.
long way to
So
go.
yeah, we have a long ways to go. So end of the chapter is basically that Dory and Brogy are back on the good side, and so we've got them and Hildine and Stanson and Zoro all ready to take on the other Dami Reversi possessed giants. So with that being said, let's move on to uh, chapter 1177. All right. So a lot of chaos going on. There's still so we are right back in the battle with between obviously the good giants and the demon possessed giants. With one of them stabbing Dory in the arm, breaking his shield. And Dory's response to that is, look at how you submit to a new master, so much for the pride of the giant pirates. You empty-headed fools, you should be ashamed of yourself. So with that being said, then we go on to, there's another section where more demon-possessed giant pirates, and they found Kashi and Chopper and
Stoppers.
Scopper, yeah. Chopper and Scopper. All right. And Kashi being somehow unable to fight against his teammates. With that being said, we've got some other things happening, and it does look like that the other four plus Zoro are taking out some of the other Dami Reversi possessed giants. And Jirul kind of remarks that they seem a little too eager to take out the other guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're getting a little bit carried away. Chopper telling Kashi to run away if he can't fight them. With Chopper having no choice but to take a rumble ball and fight on the
And we see that he's we kind of already knew this, but he becomes about the size of an average giant.
Yeah, which is quite kind of interesting, because we see in the panel where he does take out one of the Dami Reversi giants. But here's the funny thing about him. So he just hits him, and we see the demon kind of get exercised.
Yeah, there's got to be something specifically related to Chopper. I think Liam said that one of the theories might be that his because of the antibody stuff he did at in the Onigashima raid, maybe that might be a reason, or it could be something else related, possibly to his. I'm not gonna say devil fruit because he mentioned that as well. I think it might be his specific devil fruit.
I was kind of thinking that same thing. It's like, because let's think about it. Luffy is Hito no Mi, human fruit model Nika, but Chopper is specifically the human fruit. And could that possibly have something in that?
Yeah, it can't be as simple as him just having a devil fruit. There's got to be something else in play here. Whether it's
if it's
well, later
specifically
on
the
they theorize he's just
fruit.
that good of a doctor. I mean,
yeah,
that's more that could also be plausible. It's just, but whatever it is, he just has to smack these giants and they're exercised.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, the guy he slaps and he exercises the giant without really killing him, and he returns to normal. So then we go to the owl library. So killing him has been taken apart pretty badly. So now he's just a head with the rest of his body tied up. And
yeah, I think, he's a head.
Yeah, he's a talking head now. And being handled by Jinbei, so that's like the worst of what he wants out of life right now.
Well, his head's being handled by Jinbei. The other parts of his body are being handled by Sanji and
Yeah,
Frankie.
and Frankie, with Sanji casually remarking, "So these are the knights who protect Holy Land." Uh, and Frankie answers that with, "I think we got too strong, Sanji. Luffy's an emperor now." Yeah, but I'd like to believe that, but it's sickening to think that Elbaf was brought to his knees by this scum. Killing him. That's right, maggots. Keep overlooking us. And Jinbei saying, "Be careful. One of them is still unharmed." So, with that being said, they got Zeus back, and then Loki and Luffy show up. Um, you know, and then they see Loki. Nami somehow gets mad because she's like, "Are you all idiots?" Because Jinbei, Sanji, and Frankie are either shocked or amazed by Loki. With Nami going again, there you go, making friends with weirdos again. It's nice that he's taking out monsters, but the flames he's spitting are just making the problems worse. Don't you get it? And then we see flames kind of out on the horizon over the land of Elbaf. So he's obviously mad on that, and then Luffy doesn't really have a response to it. And then he says, "I got yelled at because of you, Loki." With Loki breathing fire against.
We're starting. I think commentators were saying this might be an indication that Loki might join the crew after all because he's doing comedic stuff.
Yeah. Why should I be scolded by your crewmates? And Luffy in Nika form is unaffected, which makes Loki obviously be shocked and have a face fault. So yeah, I'm really, we'll see about how the logistics work, but we'll move on here. So somehow Usopp went after.
Something to point out. He hit him with a lightning strike.
Oh, was that a lightning strike?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was
What
fire.
is what is something that doesn't affect Luffy?
Lightning. All right. So Usopp went after Brook, and he found Brook and the emu possessed
Gunko.
Gunko. Brook.
It's like props to these guys. They're two of the weaker members of the crew, and they have a tendency to always punch well above their level and just get whooped. And here we are having the same thing happen. Brook's been whooped.
Yeah.
Usopp's not doing very well.
So Brook's telling Usopp to run away because he went after Gunko for his personal reasons. But Usopp says, "You expect me to run and leave a friend behind, Brook? A real warrior doesn't run away. I've been dreaming of this place for years, and I'm not going to humiliate myself here. More importantly, I'm furious. You see, Brook, these guys are disrespecting Elbaf, sneaking around, kidnapping children. You attack the kingdom with monsters rather than using your own strength, taking over the minds of proud, noble warriors and forcing them to kill each other. Your plan is scummy, cowardly, and cheap. Shame on," before he gets kicked. Kicked good, too. But then Usopp unleashes a it's skull blast
after Brook. Well, Usopp, the attack serves as on Usopp functions as an distraction for Brook to attack. Gunko gets distracted with Brook, and then Usopp attacks. So they function as each other's distraction.
Yeah. So Usopp unleashes Skull Blast Grass Fire. Oh no, the fire is from Gunko. So obviously Usopp's attack didn't work. But then, right as that happens, Loki and Luffy show up to what was the source of the hockey. And Luffy obviously sees Usopp and Brook. Loki identifies Gunko as the source of the unusual hockey. that reached the underworld. Luffy obviously says, I'm pissed, and with Loki saying forgiveness was never an option. But then Gunko sees that Gunko Imu sees that thou canst obey or die. Nika and Nidhagar, this battle will divide the world. Oh,
Something that was pointed out, but that looking back on how things turned out, I'm not sure why Emu was so calm was the fact that while addressing Nika and Nidgard was that uh Emu was doing it so calmly.
mm-hmm. Okay, so right into the next chapter. So what Luffy has done is he's rescued Brook and Usopp, and he's brought them back to the other group. So, and then as soon as he's there, he runs back because he says that Loki's gonna get pretty reckless, which Sanji observes. That's coming from you. So,
And also to keep in mind, Loki is not as dopey as Luffy. So for
yeah,
Luffy to say that is
yeah. Now, and then Loki is about to attack Gunko Imu, but he gives off what I perceive to be a little bit of lore going back to some very earlier chapters within the manga. Specifically, he starts off with some years ago, a ship of giants was spotted at sea. Their captain was especially gigantic. Oh, sorry, that's Gunko Imu talking. As Loki is about to attack. Some years ago, a ship of giants was spotted at sea. Their captain was especially gigantic, but they shroud themselves in deep mist, attacking only government assets whilst remaining unseen. Now, Matthew, if you recall, the only mist that I can assume about throughout this series has been the Florian Triangle.
theoretically yes, but as was pointed out with in the Herald flashback, Herald was not attacking exclusively in the Florian Triangle.
Mm.
So there's other mist that's like going on.
And then Gunko Imu says, at the same time as this, rumors spread far and wide of a massive flying creature, and so the dots connect. So then, let me see here. As soon as Luffy arrives, he says, there you are, you'll pay for what you did to Usopp and Brook. But then I guess I don't know what we would call this coming out of Gunko because it's the form of Emu.
A shadow form because it seems to be impervious to
yeah. So
it's
what
black, it's formless, and it's impervious to attacks.
Yeah. So what ends up happening then is that the form is going to try and it says, if only thou wouldst vanish off the face of the earth as rocks did. And then it starts with diabolical covenant, and it stabs both Luffy and Loki and initiates a Dami Reversi.
Which does nothing.
Yeah, which does nothing.
Well, let's also point out that Emu was going to have them go against each other.
Yeah. So then so obviously Luffy's like, what was that for? It doesn't even hurt. But Loki in his case says, what did you just say about rocks? With Emu saying, as I suspected, you are both. But then we don't get into the rest of what Emu is thinking.
I'm gonna point out again, Liam suggested that it's specifically because they have devil fruits. I don't think it's exclusively devil fruits. Again, I think it's those specific devil fruits. I don't think devil fruits across the board is what shields them. But
No,
while we have not seen specifically a Dami Reversi,
on a
um,
devil fruit user.
yeah, a Devil Fruit user, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Right.
So yeah, we can't just make assumptions that it's specifically Devil Fruit users that are shielded. I think this is these two fruits.
So Loki decides to change strategies because he's gonna use Ragnir.
And
Uh,
and Emu's too small.
yeah, Emu's too small. And what happens is he uses an attack called Nibelheim. And basically what it does is that it puts Emu and Gunko into a block of ice. Um, and this was after Luffy had initiated a Dawn Gatling attack.
That might
But
have been what partially because Emu's shadow form is frozen.
right, yeah.
So this
Um,
this whatever this is, it actually had an effect.
yeah. And it couldn't have come at a better time because Luffy just ran out of energy. Um, I don't know who that is in there, but this is the quickest solution. I was just too big before. Okay, so 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 then we go into the next panel at Fisherman Village in Elbaf. Just put out the fire. That damn Loki got rid of the monsters, but he didn't leave us much better off. Because obviously in his dragon form, he was breathing a lot of fire. However, um, Nami obviously doing her thing to try and put out the fires with Zeus, so that's a good thing.
And
Plus,
some help from Jinbei.
yeah, Jinbei, Ocean Current, Shoulder Throw. So that being said, it looks like things have gotten somewhat better, and then also the Zoro team is pretty much he's rescued. They've rescued most of the team, although there's still some that are um, still possessed. But then, and
Enter
Zoro's getting ready to
Chopper.
take them out. Yeah, but then we see that Chopper does his thing. So obviously he says, "Hey Zoro," and um, and Zoro's asking Chopper, "It's like, what did you do?" And in the case of Chopper, he's saying, "I don't know why, but all I have to do is hit them, and it cures their demonic power." With Zoro saying, "Is it because you're such a good doctor?" And obviously, this will come up in the anime. Doesn't come up in this panel, but it makes Chopper a little embarrassed. And
He's gonna do that.
yeah, okay. So, announcement made: no visible enemies around the villages. However, plenty of fire. A lot of the villages are saying there's plenty of fire. Now we get into the Owl Library. Zoro, not Zoro, Nam,
Robin.
Saul. Yeah, Robin and Saul are saying the fire was definitely raging on the inside here, but I don't see a single charred book. The shelves are all empty. Saul observes that he doesn't see Biblo the owl either. Let's hope for the best. With that being said, so where our timer has started running. So obviously Frankie and Sanji are talking about what to do, observing about the Holy Knights, and Killingham is wondering what happened to Emu. Now, also we see that Summers has also been kind of, he's in pieces as well, but he's still alive.
His heart's metal looking.
Yes. So, with this being said, somehow the shadow of Emu disappears from the block of ice, and we go to the sacred Marie Joie,
Where we
and
actually see battle damage.
yes, with the Emus contacting the elders and saying that he will be leaving the Holy Land for a time.
And we will have the big revelation.
So let's get right into it. We are going to get right through this so that we can do a little bit of commentary. So Emu's saying that he's going to, and obviously they catch on that he's going to go to Elbaf. The elders are begging him not to, although Garling is saying that, whatever Emu wants is what he has to do. And that some of the elders were suggesting that they should send the admirals, but Garling is saying that right now there's too many things happening. So obviously their resources are being spread too thin to try
This
and
also goes to show that Garling is a little bit more of a military strategist compared to the
right.
remaining four elders, because
Yeah.
Garling's actually gone out and fought in the real world and done actual fighting. They've been
They've
they've
been sitting in the
only
chamber.
yeah, they've been sitting in the chamber. They did the one egghead battle, but that was probably the first battle for them in who knows how long.
Yeah. York obviously kind of whining because she things aren't turning out as peachy as she thought. So that being said, we do have a little bit of dialogue going on again, but right now there's just too much. Resources are spread too thin. So one thing that Emu does say, this is no longer coincidence, Warcury. Arrogance, sloth, detachment, pride, cast us away these things at once. All is preordained. And he's observing how a lot of people from the past, we've got Rox, Roger,
Neptune,
Shirahoshi, Harold, Shanks,
Shanks,
Loki, Newgate,
Whitebeard,
yep, and Luffy and T. Oh, and also Cobra. Let me see
and
here.
Vivi.
And Vivi. And then he's also thinking about Joy Boy and Davy Jones saying, still you continue to torment thee. I desire Vivi. Now, I want to get into this after we get right through the chapter. So Emu starts to initiate the ritual to go to Elbaf. Killing him, or sorry, not killing him. Summers, they observe that there is a still heart of his, and Zoro says if we destroy this, they won't be able to go back to normal, and that really has Summers worried. Okay, so we are finishing up the chapter. We're going to skip some dialogue here because there's a lot of these storms happening, because we know that this is where the dimension, the portal opens up. And what's funny here is how suddenly all these inanimate objects become animated, and it's kind of similar to Whole Cake Island in a way.
And what's her name's
Yeah, the Big Mom Soul fruit powers. Kind of like it's looking like a nightmarish type of thing. And obviously we see that Emu does indeed appear in Elbaf physically.
oh, let's also point out that the children, including what's his name, uh
Yeah, we get a lot of
Cullen,
people get knocked out.
yeah, by Emu's apparently very powerful Conquerors hockey.
Yeah. Now we also see that Emu has coughed up blood. So, and then he's starting to sprout wings. So that being said, Sommers and Killingham are shocked that Emu came in person. And we do see that it is the creator of the world government, one of the first 20, power, the devil's fruit, king of the world, Saint Nerona Emu. So that being said, Matthew, let's go right into it. Your thoughts on this?
I think it's interesting. I think Emu's what we could probably say his true form is very interesting because he looks like he's probably an Oni, similar
I was
to
thinking, I was thinking maybe like Oni, kind of like, well, I think there's maybe a couple of coincidences here. Well, one like with Harold, you got Yamato, you've got what's his name, Kaido. He also almost kind of looks like a mixture of like a Lunarian, possibly,
It's
depending on if
possible
you have.
he was. It's possible that a lot of these, what's it called? These later species. He might have been part of part of one of these proto,
Yeah.
say these species genetically spread out,
Hmm.
kind of like how you have dominant, you have these father species to whatever the ancestor of the modern dog was, it spread out into wolves,
Hmm.
coyotes, the various dog breeds, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So maybe it's possible that what happened was he was part of some kind of proto species that set that like the Lunarians and the Oni and some of these other species went into. But also it says the devil's fruit. He might have been the original fruit user.
Yeah. And actually, what I'm hoping is that in our next episode, we can kind of talk into some of the theories about, like, for example, the beginning or like his relationship with Nefertari Lily, and why she took the action she took. I think that's going to be form a basis for part of our discussion for the next episode.
I think Lily was a plant.
That's
She
an
she
interesting.
was I think she was an insider into the original 20.
Yeah. Last thing that I want to observe, and then we're going to have to close out this episode, that I'm wondering if Marie Joie has some kind of barrier that allows Emu to suppress his true form.
Yeah, because he's in that cuz they specifically mention in the new world you are in the lower world you are, and that's possibly another reason why the world nobles have that attitude. It's because it's possible that there is some kind of actual power sphere up there that actually does allow them to be stronger, whereas they go to the lower world, they don't have the issues because Emu is literally God in Marijois. I don't think he's God here. He looks vulnerable.
Yep.
He
So,
came down to the lower world and he spit up blood, the first thing he got, and he still has blood coming from his mouth. And he's
yeah.
got an actual physical form here.
Well, with that being said, this was obviously we had to really run through a lot of stuff.
The
So, Matthew,
speed run
we're
through.
yeah. Well, I think we're going to expand more on this in our next episode. So, we want to thank everyone for joining us, and we will see you next time.